Okay, last weekend I was in London racing HYROX with Martin Boyce. We did it as Deadpool and Wolverine, which is why I've got this beard, and frankly, I love it too much. I'm not shaving, but the hair's getting a bit ridiculous. Anyway, we did HYROX together. It was a lot of fun, and Martin had his video camera and stuff with him. I didn't have anything, so he has made a video and put it up here on YouTube. Now, if you want to watch the video on its own, then the link is below and all that kind of stuff, and you can go and watch it. Or I've not watched it yet, so I'm going to make a reaction video because they're all the rage. So I'm going to watch this video and I'm going to react to it, see what it's like, and maybe it'll just make it, I don't know, will it make it any more interesting? Who knows? I mean, or you could just stare at my beard the entire time. Anyway, I'm going to make a video about me shaving off my beard. That'll probably be 10 times more important. Anyway, right, here we go then. I'm going to start watching the video. Ooh, dramatic start. I told him to do like a big, fast intro, try and show off the best parts of it. But yeah, there you go, that's me and him. Man, it brings it back how tough it was. He's got good designs.
Hi guys, welcome.
There he is.
This is episode 13 of my HYROX Chronicle, my meandering journey through the world of HYROX. Now, I like to make one of these videos at all of the races that I go to tell a story about how
he's done a lot of races, it must be said, and he's got great content. If you're into HYROX, it's worth watching his stuff, to be honest. So, he's very honest when it comes to talking about not only HYROX, but the various Spartans. You can see the little helmet in the bottom corner, his Spartan race.
I like to tell a story about how I get to the start line.
He does like to tell a story.
As much as how I get to the finish line. And this particular outing
much better hair than me, it must be said. I mean, look at him, he's got his little cliff to the side. I mean, look, mine's just...
If you saw my last video, you will have seen that I went and did a
jump cuts there.
in Manchester just 3 weeks ago with a fella named John Stevenson.
We raced a couple of weeks before doing
and he's done
the London ones. We were together in...
Me and him, we didn't know
together in Manchester.
We became friends through
stop stroking my beard.
Interests, bumping into each other at home.
We're good friends now. This is what he's saying about how we become friends. We have. It's a great. I mean,
earlier this year, he went.
I've found some amazing friends just through racing HYROX.
And I thought to myself at that point in time, wow, our times are comparable. I'm going to ask him if he wants to do a doubles with me. He said yes, and we booked this event.
Yeah, I wasn't meant to do the doubles. It was my daughter Jamie's birthday, but she was very nice and let me race.
Manchester on sale and did 2 events. One of those events was before the London date, so we went and did that together. It was a bit impromptu, it was unpracticed, we hadn't done any training together before
that does bring it back just how... there's something about racing the doubles in HYROX where because you get the rest time of the other person when they're doing the stations, you can kind of hit it a lot harder than if you're doing singles. So you think singles is hard because you're doing the entire thing, but doubles, although I managed to do it 10 minutes quicker than I would have done singles in, that 10 minutes I saved, I put that back in an effort. So yeah, really super tough. So.
You were an X-Man.
And it wasn't a stretch for me to sort of connect the dots and make this particular outing our Deadpool and Wolverine outing.
Yeah, I think it worked well. I mean, especially the Deadpool Wolverine thing worked well, only for the fact that I really enjoyed going with this thing.
I think that's mainly down to him already owning some of the outfit.
Hey, bud. Welcome to another workout for you to roll along to.
Oh, that hurts my throat.
Fits his
so yeah, I do have a history of doing this. So.
And pretty much just having a hard-on for Hugh Jackman. But I didn't mind being Deadpool. I think he's quite funny. Anyway, so we'd adopted these characters. It was only a code name at that point. A short while later, John had sent me a picture with a vest that was Wolverine. I mean, right? Like a gym
it's actually
vest.
For the fact that it was a really cheap vest that I bought on eBay. It was actually quite a good sports vest to work out in.
To match his.
I don't know where he got his from. I think he got it from Temu.
We're always going to be showing up in these vests at this HYROX. So stand by, London. A lot of sexiness coming your way. Now, on this point, 3 weeks ago at Manchester, a fella rocks up in full Deadpool cosplay. Now, he looked awesome.
I saw the guy doing the Deadpool thing in Manchester as well. That was kind of like, crikey, if anyone turns up
fancy dress party
as Wolverine, then we're sunk.
eBay, you rock up, and then the door knocks, the door opens, and then there's someone in a £150 version of the same outfit you've got. You feel a little bit overshadowed.
No.
But we chose our outfits with speed in mind. We still want to go for a time.
That's true.
So I have
both of us
a
were
little
wanting
bit
to
of
race fast
unfinished
and not be
business
encumbered
at
by
London
a big
Excel.
costume.
Last year I went into it nursing a pretty bad lower back injury,
Martin.
something I'd done on wall balls just 18 days prior. I did everything I could.
Your hair
to
looks
get
better
ready.
nowadays,
I
though, must be
bathed
said.
creams and pills, etc. But I knew I went into it compromised. I started the race. I got to the sled pull before I started to feel the pressure.
I was watching him during that race actually in London. I just felt so bad for him. I actually stopped watching him after a certain point because I didn't want him to feel like he was having to try harder just because someone was watching him. But he still did amazingly well. I think he still beat my time. So it just shows somebody amazing injured can still be faster than me.
Do things at this particular event.
That's why I love HYROX, so there's so much avenue for me to improve. Not that I'm saying I was like, when we came to indoor rowing, I kind of, the fastest I ever did a 2K in was 6:37, and I think possibly I could have got down to 6:30, but the gains was so small, and the amount of effort you'd have to put into it was massive. Whereas HYROX, there's so much latitude, so much space for me to try and improve in, and I think that's kind of why I love it so much.
A lot of the time on the outside. So over 3 laps times 8, we were obviously incurring quite a bit more distance than we realised, and it just made our running times look.
No, okay, he's still talking about London.
If we hug the inside line,
sorry, Manchester.
Quite a bit of time. In the time since then, I've obviously put a lot of running miles down just to sort of try to.
Yeah, that's the thing. So our run was what let us down in Manchester, it must be said. So both of us really did hit the run in hard until I kind of picked up a little bit of an injury, but no excuses.
1:07:31 by 1 second would be enough for me. So we're obviously dealing with 2 different venues, different size of rock zone, different amounts of people.
It's a really good video. He's really getting across all the bits we need to know. It's a shame I'm talking over it.
So all we can do is go in, give it our absolute best, and hope
that was what we agreed on. Just give it everything we can. Burn bright for an hour. That's all it is.
I'm just going to hand over to London, where we'll be starting our pre-race prep with Wolverine. All right. Okay, so here we are at London Excel, bright and early, 7 a.m.
Can't believe this was only a week
for
ago.
John/Wolverine/Logan to show up in a few moments. He flew in late last night, so he's not had much chance to do anything yet.
That's true.
Other than sleep and take a.
Stayed at the Crown Plaza though, it was lovely.
We're going to get ready into our Deadpool and Wolverine costumes.
Bit pricey, but really
all
nice.
That stuff.
Really helpful, friendly staff when they were there. Got a good night's sleep, and that's the most important part. So you can see it's dawn.
Oh no, not the big reveal. No, don't show anyone. Oh, look at that. Let me just touch it.
Easy, Tiger.
No, there's no easy. I was gentle. I didn't want to break it. All right.
Hey,
how you
it's
been?
Real. It's not. It's not fake.
I got a little fan club just in here.
I think it's
starting to build.
Likely I'm shaving it off tomorrow.
The pressure's starting to build with it.
So, no. I've been training for what, however long?
Yes.
With this guy in my gym, and I think it's time you take ownership of Deadpool.
So there's a little key ring that I had that
now let's see
broke, so I
got a little
just
present for you
gave
too,
it to
John.
him, not knowing that he'd actually spent real money
this is a two-part,
on getting
you
me
get
something.
Your respective half.
This is the little Deadpool and Wolverine. Next, I think I've still got mine lying around.
Look, it says best friends.
Look at that. Where's my camera?
I'm saying this is the end of our time together, but
I should really be wearing it.
No.
There's Mike Stamp sitting behind us. He's another good friend that I made just through the world of HYROX. The kind of people that I only meet like once or twice a year, but feel like we're all good friends. He's the head judge on the rower for most of the weekends.
So it gets real.
Check it. See, I like to get my number written on my left arm because I feel if I put up my right arm, I'm out of balance. The big reveal. It's definitely an enjoyable watch, his videos, it must be said. Quite a long intro, but once you get to here, it's cool. Very nice. Nice way to get round the...
So we are now Deadpool and
Look at me
Wolverine,
flexing as much as I can.
feeling both silly and
said, the
manly
wide angle on the
in equal
GoPro does
measure.
make my
Rough
arms
tactics,
look a lot
mostly
bigger
what
than
it
they
was
are.
last time, with a few tweaks, maybe shorten some of the bits. That's kind of it. Right, okay, so we're going to put this camera away. We're going to get in
At least
there.
the beard
We're
looks
gonna
alright.
pick this up from inside the arena. All right.
Hair wasn't
go.
quite long
Let's
enough.
fucking
That's
go.
my only
So
Only
this
thing I
is the
didn't
part
really
of
like
footage
about it
where
is
we
my hair
get to
wasn't quite
see
long enough.
what Deadpool and Wolverine did on
We're
the
going to get
day.
the race recap.
Now, I'm going to be doing this a little bit differently to how I do it normally. I'm going to be comparing
put
the
some weights on
times that
flame
we
with it.
got at London Excel directly with the times that we got from
Nice way
Manchester
to do
just
it.
3 weeks prior. Now, the aim all along was to set a time at Manchester, return to London Excel, dressed as superheroes, and beat that time. So as we work through the footage, I'm going to show you the times that we got at Manchester, and underneath
Little
I'm
bit
gonna
of
put the
Jeopardy.
times that we
Nice
got
touch.
at London, and at the end we can have a little look at those numbers and see how we did. So the very start of the race starts like all HYROXs do, in the Red Bull
with
start.
him running
Now,
a
we
million
were at
miles
the
an
very
hour.
front of our particular wave, and we got our countdown and we were off. Into the first corner, we saw Holly with the camera. We gave her a wave and a bit of a love heart, as Deadpool does, and we were into the first lap. Now, the
Holly's
first
great. His
lap
wife
was
Holly's fantastic
long
at putting up with him
London
and
Excel, but it was
walking around and
short
filming
at
things.
Manchester.
She's
That makes this
she's a
comparison
saint for
quite
putting up with
polar
his
opposites.
nonsense.
We've got a short lap there and a long lap here, and it starts us off in a bit of a deficit. So as
Yeah,
we're
that
running
first
around,
lap
we've got
was
2.6
like
laps
was
to
a
do, and it's of the
1.3 kilometers,
Excel,
I think, or
which is
1.2.
massive.
So it
felt
does
like
take
we
it
were
out of
running
you, that
for
first one
ages
for the
before
London
we
course, but then
inevitably
all the other
came in at
laps coming
station
up are a
one.
little bit
So we
shorter.
enter
So
station 1, the skier. We have 1,000 meters to do. We had agreed that we would break this
bear in
up
mind,
into
remember,
250
Holly, his wife, is filming
jumps.
all of this, so she's
Now,
kind of trying to
John was
work
to
out the
go
best
first,
place that
and I
we
was
can
to
go.
go last, and that's
So
done
here
on
we go.
purpose because I'm the stronger runner, and it evens us out, gives John a second to take a breath before.
So yes, we
trying
split
to
this into
run out.
250 meters each.
So
that's what kind of basically
John
we're
takes the
saying.
handles, he gets it up to speed, and he starts pulling at around
I don't think I'd
500 meters
manage skiing
before
at all,
settling down into a rhythm around 142 to 145.
Yeah, but you can see I've got a nice-
over to his left,
nice
looking at his
rhythm.
specifically his meters, because that's my cue to jump in. As he sort of passes 200 meters, I'm primed, I'm ready to go, and as he approaches the 250 mark, he counts me in 3, 2, 1. John then steps out to the left when he should have stepped out to the right.
I've
We
messed up the
collided a little
transition,
bit.
unfortunately.
I jumped in and started to pull my own handles.
Then
I got the pace down to about 128, which is a bit quick. Before
obviously
settling
way
down
too much
into
energy if I
around
can do that. If you
135.
look at Martin, he's all
And I
about
got
stroke
through
rate,
my
high
set really
stroke rate,
quickly. I'm
and it's
sort of
not
higher
really
tempo,
about
skier.
technique,
And then as
but
I sort of passed
like
the
you just said, he was down at
500 mark, I pulled
128,
John
so
back
I
in.
couldn't hit
He
that on
jumped back in
skier.
for his second set, and he did the same sort of pace he did before. And on my last set, I make a conscious decision to go a little bit slower, sort of to taper me down for the very next run. As soon as we were done, we put our hands up and the referees set us free.
So yeah, pretty much the same then, okay.
So station number 2 was the sled push. So we made a point to run all the way.
So I
up
tended
the
to
sled
take
and
over
not
on the
waste
first
any
half
time.
of the
John
race.
took the
I
first
tend to
stint,
take the first
again,
stints and things,
so
and then on the second half
take
of the
it in
race,
turns and I could
Martin
be
would
last,
step in first.
so it
Just shows that
evens us out
he's,
on the
because he's a much better runner than I am. So
John pushed his across and was an absolute legend. The sled is one of my specialities.
look at this, look at this. Look how fast it goes.
Quickly.
I'm meant
And
to
this
be
is done,
having
if you look in the video, I actually lift about 90% of the sled off the ground as I push it, and I can get it across in about 10 seconds flat. Now I can't necessarily do this same speed when I'm doing it on my own, but in doubles I can.
That's
So I got it
interesting
back
because
really
he
quickly.
tilts it up so that
John
it's.
had his second go, pushed it back.
I might try that.
And my second go was not as fast as my first, but again, I know that I have to run out of this station. So it's about preserving a little bit of backup
See me
power.
just
to get
loping
those
behind
legs
him.
powered back up.
Slower.
So
That's
station
impressive.
number
Then actually
3
Manchester,
was the
remember
sled
how hard
run.
he
Again,
hit
we
it,
made
so-
the point of running right up to the rope as to not
Actually, I
waste
think
any
he
time.
went too hard in
John
Manchester.
started to pull first, and his technique is predominantly the walk back. He picks up the rope, walks it all the way back.
He's calling me a
drops the
weakling
rope,
here,
picks the
isn't
rope
he?
Back up again and cycles through that. It works for him. It works for his biodynamics. Then we run to the other side as fast as we can and made a point of sprinting across here.
See, the thing about having a beard is you just sit and stroke it till it paints it. Look at this.
Of walking it back and arm
Arm
over
over arm, arm over
Easier
arm.
in the
He's a
first
big
of
fella,
these
isn't
two
he?
goes.
He's got more
John
muscles
takes
than I
his
have.
Second go again sticks to his plan of walking it back,
get him away.
and then finally my last
didn't
go,
fall over
I
this
tried
time.
to do a bit of arm over arm, but it eventually slowed right down to the hip extension technique. Now we made a point of
see,
running out of this
you should
station
just have
as
done
fast
my
as
way
we
from the
could,
start.
as to not waste any more time. So station number 4, it's the burpees.
Oh, burpees.
Everyone's favourite, except for John and I, who we absolutely hate the burpees. They're
think I need to do a bigger jump, don't I? Looking at it,
John
I'm
did
just
the first set. We had
just
agreed we were
hopping
gonna do
forwards.
these in
I need to
sets of
really
5.
launch
Quite
forwards.
a
Yeah, if you look
common
at
cluster of how to do them in a duo.
what Martin's like,
In
he
fact,
really
did
covers the
6,
distance. That's quite,
before
if you know, that's the first time I've ever
tapping
actually
out
looked at that
commence.
to see
Now,
that
the first
I'm really
few
not
sets of
jumping
these,
far at all.
Actually feel okay. You're still a little
So,
bit bouncy.
in the
you've
week
still
I've
got a
got
bit
before
of energy,
Frankfurt,
but
I
after
better
you
start
swap
working
2
on
or
that,
3
shouldn't I?
times, you are starting to fatigue, even as a duo.
Fatigue for sure.
So we sort of get to one end, turn it around, and we're bringing it back. It's over
Nice
actually
jump.
quite quickly, but it feels like an eternity when you're.
I really, why
actually in there
am I not
doing
covering
that.
much?
This was the sort
Is it
of.
'cause I'm standing
I
up
actually felt
before
a
I
little
jump?
bit dizzy at this
I know.
point because of all the sort of getting up and lying down again.
Oh yeah, you
But
can
that's
see that the way I'm like,
so station
coming
number
off the side.
5, it's the row. It's John's speciality. So this is
Should
the
be
one
my
where we
speciality,
decided
but by the
that
time
we
I get
would
here,
break it
I
up.
am bust.
Me to do around 300, John to do around 600, and me to do another 300. So
know
I
how
entered
your maths
the,
work
the
there.
row first. I tried
would have
to
been
get a little bit of
1,200
John so I
metres
could
there.
sit down on the row and start to strap in. Whenever I seem to get to these rowers, the foot straps seem to be so small.
So if you look here, you can see what. Just look at his feet
So I
and
get,
how he's
I
kind
get on and I
of
start
jolting
to
and
pull
yanking
and
away
get
with
up
his
to
feet on the
speed.
straps.
I think I was around 145 for most of it. It's not as fast as I was at
But he was still, I mean, listen, he was rowing fast, and it's one of these things where, if you look at me, if Holly filmed it, I don't even go in the straps. I just place my feet straight onto the foot plates and row. And I was down at 145 pace.
Toward the end of John's 600 stint, I noticed he was still pulling 145.
Yeah.
And I asked him to stay on for a little
With my
bit
feet out of the
longer.
straps.
I'm glad I did, because when I actually did get
I
to
got-
sit on, I had about 200 metres left to pull.
Yeah, well,
and
I got.
did do
So,
that with just
so
a
he did
little bit
300
more
metres,
vigour
I
than
did
probably would
500,
have
and I
if
started
we
off
tapped
about
out
145 pace
So
and ended up
station
around about
number 6 is
150
the
for the last
farmer's
50 because I was
And
just
this is my
gassed at
favourite
that point.
station. However, as we approached
Farmer's
the
carry
arch,
next.
I could tell that I was more gassed than I had been at this point at Manchester. Nevertheless, I picked him up and I had my first go.
Oh, look
Now,
at his
the
wee
plan
face.
roughly was for me to do the first section and John to do the second, but it didn't necessarily go down like that. At the 50-metre mark, I shouted at John that I needed to change the plan and that we would do
See,
this
he
in
runs
quarters.
as fast as he
I
does
did
around the
first
track with the
50, John did
kettlebells,
the
whereas I have a bit of
50.
a.
I did the third 50. I think I tried to run it a little bit further than that to give John just a little bit more
That's 'cause
of
you
a
know how
chance to
slow I
burn
am.
that last bit. And we finished that really quite quickly, and I was quite happy with actually how
Slower
that went
again.
in the end. So station number 7, it's the lunges, and both John and I, we do not love the lunges.
It's good that we both
Just
share
a
the
week
same
before
hatred
John
for
had
the same
his
things, like the fact
hamstring
that
doing lunges at
I'm
the
not a
gym,
fan of the
I've been
burpees,
busting
and
ever since
now there's
then,
he that I'm not a
hoping
fan of
that
lunges.
his leg
But
would hold
I
up
had, yeah,
in
he's
the
talking
actual
about it there. I'd kind
competition.
of picked up a kind of
Now,
groin hamstring
I was
strain the
gonna go
week before,
first,
so I was
see
really
how
worried
far
that I wouldn't be
could
able to make it
get
through the
before handing over
lunges.
to John, and actually, after a couple of reps, it was clear that John was actually all right.
I
His
was
leg
okay,
holding, and I felt a little bit of relief at this point, meaning that I didn't have to do 80 metres.
Yeah, shout at that guy for being in my way.
So John continued to do it and then passed it to me, and we went backwards and forwards. In my resting periods, I kept looking at my watch. At this point, we had about 9.5 minutes.
I was working on the lunges the next day and really, actually, I was the guy handing out the bags basically. I really enjoyed it.
Had the wall balls.
Great meeting all the people coming up and trying to kind of say, "You got this,
As
you
we
got
entered
this."
the wall balls, I take a look at my watch.
Wall balls!
It just past the hour. So we had around
So I wanted to do as
7 minutes or
many
just
as I could
under
before having to hand
to beat
off.
our time from Manchester. So we run up to the station. John takes the first.
Yeah, nice
stint.
and low. Yeah, I'm
I
hitting
stand
depth
there
at
just
least.
after watch. John pops out 10. John pops out 20. John pops out 30. Unbelievable. It's my go. I pop out 10. I pop out 20. I pop out 3. 23 on my first cluster, and my legs were absolutely toast. John takes the next batch and leaves me with about 19 left to do. And he's shouting at me now. He's shouting. We've got all the HYROX
Had one of the-
guys and girls
the
on the MC.
MC
and they're
behind
shouting
us
at
who's shouting
Deadpool,
for us as well.
Wolverine, Martin and John. John shouting at me, "Let's fucking go!" And I'm doing wall balls, terrified. And 3, 2, 1, and we fight through the people, and we sprint. And I mean, we sprint all the way up that
So I'm
ramp.
not talking
We
anymore because I'm
roar
just
in the
enjoying
face
that
of photographer,
that moment of finishing,
getting a
running across, and then I was
1:05:45.
smacking into the guy in front of me. I remember
Take
that.
that,
Sorry about that,
Manchester.
whoever you are.
So we have just finished men's doubles here at London
Maybe
Excel.
still flexing my arm.
What was our time?
Oh, crikey, 105.41.
105! Amazing.
Really happy to have
That
knocked
was
off like
amazing.
1
I think after
minute
the
50
first
or
one that
so.
we did,
from
it
it.
was basically just a training run. I think we learned a lot. I think both of us supported each other really well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was
Where did you struggle?
burpees.
Burpees. Yeah, we both
Burpees.
hate burpees.
Not really
Thankfully,
looking forward to
we do
going
just
back to
enough
doing
and then
singles and
hand
having
back
to
over
do
the other person.
burpees all on my own
I
now.
personally was struggling in the lunges. John came
Used
into
to
it
be
with a
wall
bit of a
balls I
hamstring
hated. I
niggle,
love
but
wall balls.
busted
It's
anyway.
the lunges and
Everything
burpees.
up until burpees, I was like, let's run, let's F and go, but hit that, and then I'm like, we're gonna have to.
I noticed that you were in my shadow on every corner.
The runs were good actually, apart from the fact I've developed wicked tendonitis in my Achilles tendon on my left leg, and I think that's from turning, from like always running in anti-clockwise, having that force turning all those corners is what's done in my
Start 30,
left leg.
20, I did 30 to 20.
did 23.
Oh, sorry. Oh, wait.
23. But it was really good because we just, whatever I could do, he could do. Whatever
Yeah, it was a great race. I think we're a good partnership for that wise. That we kind of we fill in the gaps of the other guy really well. And I kinda
drag you along when you were
Yeah, for
suffering.
running
So
wise, it
I
was
think we're the perfect team.
like that's exactly what I just said with the perfect
So
team.
we were talking earlier that in 2 years' time we would collectively go up into the 50s to 59s.
Yeah.
So watch out, you 50-year-olds.
It's my birthday in February. You can Jack Daniels would be nice.
Right. So it's been an absolute pleasure. Come on, give me one of these.
Sweaty,
You're all sweaty.
sweaty hug.
God damn it.
Oh man.
Right, so I'm going to pick this up at home. I'm going to analyse everything as I always do. Thanks for watching this far. I'll see you in a bit.
So that was Deadpool and Wolverine taking on
He's
HYROX
put on his
London
wee Deadpool
itself,
top.
and the day was spectacular.
Well, is that a long sleeve? Did you buy
It
more
makes
than one
sense
top, Martin?
To talk about the time first. So 1 hour, 5 minutes and 45 seconds.
45, not 41. All right, I got
Yes.
that wrong then.
But a few of you eagle-eyed viewers out there might have noticed that we in fact lost time in the first 6
Oh, that's
stations.
interesting.
All 6.
Yeah, but by how?
We lost time.
how
Not
much,
a lot of time.
though?
1 second here.
Yeah,
2
yeah, it
seconds
was only
there,
a little
6
bit, it was
seconds
like,
here, maybe 30 seconds.
But then,
over
because
all
so
6
basically what you're saying
stations.
is that a lot of the
So how did we
stations
go
were.
on to then get a personal best in the double?
In fact, this is what he's about to say,
Well,
isn't it? So,
it came down
To the run.
the runs.
Yeah.
We knew it was going to come down to the runs. The runs at Manchester felt long, and we felt a little bit aggrieved by them. It didn't feel right.
yeah. So if you look at the
we
run
started
times,
off
they're
with
all
a short lap there
440s
and
and
longer
things
laps
versus
2 to
5
7,
somethings.
Whereas at London, we
And I think that's a
big
lot of
lap,
that's to do with the
followed by
3 laps. So
7
obviously it's still the same
shorter
distance, but the 3 laps because there's
So,
so many corners
when we
and you're
sort of
fighting so much
started
traffic.
At London, we had to absorb that first big lap, and it was 2 whole minutes slower than what it was at Manchester.
But it was a
So
much
we were
longer lap,
already
though.
on the back foot. We were already having to make up time, and then in every station we lost more time. However, runs 2 to 7 at London, because they were shorter and we were going faster.
Yeah.
We were clawing it back. Every single run, we were clawing a bit of that.
I think it was
time
partly
back.
to do
30
with
seconds here,
like
40
laps and
seconds
things, but
there.
I think both of us
Building
also
up, we were building
having
up this buffer. The lunges and the
known
wall
that we
balls
were
were
going
both
slower
faster
the last time
than
round, doing some
Manchester.
work on
So
it,
as
but
we
also having that
approached
in
the
our
end,
legs only
we were
like 3 weeks
obviously
before. You
starting
kind of
to
you
get a little
know.
bit excited and started
You
to
do,
speed up a
you
little
like
bit.
that's the benefit
We
of doing a
learned
few of
at that
these
time
is that
it
you
felt
start
slow
to
a hell of a
develop the
time, but
memory.
that's what
And it's the
was
same with
happening.
rowing for like
And
2Ks and stuff. If you do a
inevitably,
2K
we
and you
went
go
and
through
did
that
it
hell,
that much
the
quicker
next
than
time
what
you
we
do
did in
it, you kind of
Manchester.
you can remember
So
how
let's
it
talk a
felt,
little bit
and then you can
about the duo
use
that
that
is
knowledge
Martin
to
and John, or
keep
Deadpool
on
and
pushing through.
Wolverine.
Because there's times in the
Two years ago,
HYROX
I
where you
didn't
really
know John,
question, can I
we
carry on
practically
doing
strangers,
this?
and HYROX has sort of
And
brought
by
us
having that
together,
experience only a couple
but
of weeks
signing up to these
beforehand,
competitions
you go,
has
actually,
really
I know I can
completed
push a
our
little bit
friendship.
harder here. I
Since
don't have to
signing up,
back
we've
off.
obviously had to talk a lot more and plan and formulate everything for both
I've missed what
Manchester
you were saying,
and London. Actually going and running these things with John is an absolute privilege to do, and it's one of the highlights of my year. And I've done an enormous amount of work this year, but this is right up the top there.
Me too, big
This will be
guy.
one
I
of those
loved
things
racing
that
with
I
you.
think about fondly in years to come. That time that I went.
It's nice
out
just to
as
find
Deadpool
someone that
with
the only
Wolverine as a
person that
wingman
I'd want to
HYROX,
race
right?
with
It makes
from
me
now
well,
on
it'll
is
be
just
one of
Julie.
these
I'd
things
love
that
to
I
do one of these as a
genuinely
mixed doubles with Julie.
remember
That would
for a
then make
long
me
time.
happy. I mean, I feel I've checked the doubles. I don't feel like I ever need to do doubles again. I've done the perfect race with Martin. So
And I'm going to make him do it till he's 90.
So will we see Deadpool and Wolverine again?
who
at the
knows? This is the
HYROX
big.
event? I'm pretty sure we will. I want to, and I'm pretty sure John wants to, and I made a promise that I'm going to rag him till he's 90 on this. So I hope that we will in fact be together in another doubles coming soon. I'd like to think he can spare one event a year for his good old.
Yeah, I think if we do, find one, maybe we pick. We kind of.
Now, if you've got any ideas about duos that
circulate.
you might want us to adopt, like Deadpool and Wolverine, just drop them down in the comments.
That's a
no
thought.
trouble,
Tango and
please.
Cash.
So I just want
Bert
to end
and
this
Ernie.
video with a massive congratulations and well done.
Calvin
to
and
each
Hobbs.
every competitor
Let's do it as Calvin and
went
Hobbs. I'll go as the
themselves
Tiger.
Through yet another HYROX event. It is a real beastie thing to do, and you should all be very proud of yourself, regardless of your ability and or finishing time. So if you're just passing through, please give the channel a subscribe. And
make sure and go watch his video, subscribe to the channel. I feel I've stolen his thunder by doing it this way. Better. Bye, Martin. There's a little reminder to subscribe at the end. Anyway, right, let's stop this nonsense. Okay then, so that's it. That was my commentary on his thing. Make sure, and if you're interested in like hearing exactly what he spoke about, then do go and have a look at his channel, watch the video properly, leave a comment and things. He's a really knowledgeable guy, very entertaining, great video and things. But that was just kind of just in case you cared about my side of whatever happened. But everything he said was true. That it was tough, it was okay, the runs were and whatever, but it was a hell of a lot of fun racing with each other. And actually, it's been a lot of fun growing this. I mean, listen, if I do this, I mean, look how stupid my hair's getting. I spent all day today working with a baseball cap on because I just couldn't stand looking in the mirror and seeing my hair. I mean, look at this. I'm starting to look like Marv from Home Alone, aren't I? Like, whoa! Anyway, so this is getting shaved off soon. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this. I'm going to say goodbye. Remember, I've got a whole bunch of row-along workouts up here and technique advice and stuff. If you're interested in HYROX, then there's a whole bunch. I've got a playlist for how to help your rowing for HYROX as well, because some of you need work. But yes, so until the next time, please everybody look after yourselves. Row well, be well. Bye-bye.